What a fantastic lap from Wiltsafinone, slicing through the competition like a hot knife through butter. That half-second improvement is like finding an extra fry at the bottom of the bag. And Angulahavok isn't far behind, also shaving off some precious time. It's like they just had an espresso shot right before hopping in the car. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going. At the last update, Wiltsafinone has successfully moved up to power, after overtaking both Mirasol and Sirarimbot. The battle for power is intensifying as Mirasol and Sirarimbot are closely tailing Wiltsafinone. Meanwhile, Jasak 72 and Laraki have advanced to 6 after overtaking the man. The dynamics in the midfield are heating up with these changes. Sidrak and Deplorably Apple have just executed a solid maneuver to ascend to 14, successfully overtaking Tenkamin 700 no TP Kai. Gansano TPP Kati Kaiti. Meanwhile, Zygo 22 and Nukambokan have surged into 17, passing Greninjib, who is currently in the Shadow DN4. Now we see Zygo 22 and Nukambokan driving a BIM 154 Chevrolet, engaged in a fierce battle for that position with Greninjib. The competition is heating up as they jostle for track space. Electric Murray has indeed fallen back significantly, now sitting in 22nd place after dropping 7 positions. Tenkamane 704 and Snow TPP are also experiencing difficulties, slipping down to 23rd after a fall of 6 spots. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd position is heating up between Wiltsafinone, Hagod 3 and Maya. All 3 cars are closely matched, vying for that podium spot as they navigate the track. Electric Murray and Amy are making significant progress, reducing the gap to Kamikaze 38 and Volkson by 7.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Hugger 3 and Maya in their Shadow DN4 are engaged in a tight battle for 4th place against Jasak 72 and Luriki Allo, who are driving the Nissan R382. In addition, Jasak 72 and Lariki Allo are also contending with Mirasol and Sirarimbot for 5th position. Mirasol and Sirarimbot are piloting another Shadow DN4, adding to the intensity of the competition as these teams jockey for position on the track. And we're off. Jazak 72 and Lurky are tearing up the track, putting some serious distance between themselves and the pack. Neo Texum is hanging in there, keeping the pressure on. Meanwhile, Rizaldi Adha and Iantha Krabi are battling it out in the mid-pack, but they need to pick up speed if they want to catch the leaders. This is shaping up to be an exciting race. Jacek 72 and Lariki Aulo have struggled, dropping back to P19 after losing 6 positions. Electric Murray and Amy are making significant progress, reducing the gap to Hugger 3 and Maya by 536.4 seconds. Meanwhile, Greninja has successfully moved up to P13, overtaking both Zygo 22 and Nukembokum in the process. The race dynamics continue to shift as the drivers jockey for position. Electric Murray and Amy have successfully moved up to position 21, executing a clean overtake on both Jacek 72 and Lariki Aulo. The maneuver appears to have been well timed, allowing them to gain valuable track position as they continue to push forward in the race. Neerasol and Sariranbot are gaining on Kamikaze 38 and Volkson, reducing the gap by 29.7 seconds. The dynamic between these two pairs is intensifying as they push their speeds. Neerasol has executed a series of precise turns, while Sariranbot maintains consistent acceleration. Kamikaze 38 and Volkson are responding by optimizing their lines. But the pressure is clearly mounting, as Neerasol and Sariranbot continue to close in. Kamikaze 38 and Volkson have successfully moved up to 17 after overtaking Amundsen and Susanne Greenberg-Doit. This is a significant gain as they capitalize on an opportunity. The race continues to be competitive as the positions shuffle in the mid-pack. Rizaldi Adha and Iantha Krabi are currently locked in an intense battle for P2, both piloting the Porsche 917-30 Spider. Wiltse Finon in the Shadow DM4 is closely trailing them, looking for an opportunity to make a move. Meanwhile, Hugo 3 and Maya are gaining on Amundsen and Susan Greenberg, reducing the gap by 4 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Hugger 3 and Maya have successfully reduced the gap to Amundsen and Susan Greenberg by 2 seconds over the last few moments. This positions them in a strong place for a potential overtake if they maintain this pace. The race dynamics are shifting as the competition tightens up near the front. Rizaldi Adha and the Amphikrabi are engaged in a tight battle for P2, both driving the Porsche 917/30 Spider. Wild Sofinon in the Shadow DN4 is closely contesting the position as well. The intensity is palpable as they jockey for track position. In P12, Koki Beninati, Al Fael, and Granijeb are locked in a three-way fight, showcasing their skills amid the mid-pack chaos. Meanwhile, Angela Havok is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Zygo 22 and Lukembukum by 5 seconds. The dynamics of the race are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Koki Beninati, Rafael, and Grenijeb are currently engaged in a tight battle for 12th place, with frequent position changes as they navigate the track. Meanwhile, Hugo 3 and Maya have made significant progress, reducing the gap to Amundsen and Susan Greenberg by 2.1 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as they approach the next turn, potentially setting up for overtakes. Cydrek, Deplorably Apple, and Wayne Trinenti 4 are currently locked in a tight battle for 10th position, exchanging positions multiple times on the track. Cydrek is holding a slight lead over the other two, but Deplorable Apple is closing in fast, looking for an opportunity to make a move. Meanwhile, Koki Beninati, Rafael, and Granijeb are engaged in a fierce contest for 12th place. All three cars are closely matched, with Koki Beninati slightly ahead, but under pressure from both Rafael and Granijeb, who are vying for every inch of track. The dynamics between these groups add an interesting layer to the race as they jostle for critical positions. Rizaldi Ada and the Amphikrabi are making significant progress, closing in on Neotexum with a reduced gap of 2.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Neotexum is maintaining a steady pace, but the pressure is building as both cars begin to reel them in. The dynamics are shifting as we approach the next corner, where overtaking opportunities may arise. Koki Beninity is currently in P12, closely pursued by Rafael, who is just a few car lengths behind. Green is also in the mix, trying to find an opening to make a move. Koki Beninity takes a defensive line going into the next corner, while Rafael looks to the inside, but has to back out to avoid contact. Green is now looking for a slipstream, gaining speed down the straight. It's a tight three-way battle as they enter the next turn. Rafael attempts an overtake on Koki Beninity. They're side by side. This is a critical moment in the race as they jockey for position. Team Hawk Express has made significant progress as they close the gap to Wiltsefine 1 by 5 seconds. This change in distance indicates a potential for an overtaking maneuver if the current pace is maintained. The dynamics of the race are shifting as Hawk Express gains ground. No other notable changes in position have been reported at this time. Haha, right? Gary's got a point. We want any sad faces in here. Let's keep those kappas coming. Neotexum, Rizaldi Adha, and Yamthakrabi are engaged in a tight battle for the lead at Pone. Hugot 3 and Maya have made significant progress, moving up to P18 after overtaking Amundsen and Suzanne Greenberg. The race is heating up as positions shift and drivers showcase their skills on the track. Rizaldi Adha and Yamthakrabi have successfully taken the lead, moving into Pone after overtaking Neotexum. Meanwhile, Godfrey and Maya have gained positions, now in 17 after passing both Kamikaze 38 and Volksen. The race is becoming increasingly competitive as positions shuffle around. Neotexum in the Porsche 917/30 Spider is currently challenging Wiltsefine, who is driving the Shadow DN4 for second place. Both drivers are showcasing impressive speed and skill as they jostle for position. Meanwhile, Godfrey and Maya have both advanced to 16th place after successfully overtaking Angular Havoc. In the battle for 21st place, Electric Marie, Amy, Tankerman in 7-4, and Snow TPE are closely contested, with all four drivers vying for every inch on the track. Koki Beninity and Rafael continue to close the gap on the leader, reducing it by 32.2 seconds. Wayne 94 has successfully overtaken Neotexum. advancing to 7. In the meantime, Grenadier has made a notable move into Pen, overtaking both Rizaldi Adha and Amiyamthakrabi. The race dynamics are shifting with these recent positions changes. Wayne 94 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Duff Dad and Alex Cosmonaut by 11.9 seconds. Huggett 3 and Maya have successfully moved up to 15th position, overtaking Zygo 22 and Nukembokam in the process. Wayne 94 is currently holding on to Pate, closely contested by Cedric and Deplorable Apple, who are fighting hard for position. In the battle for 17, Angular Havoc in the BRM PON 154 Chevrolet is under pressure from both Kamikaze 38 and Volksen, both driving lower T260s, as they jockey for position. Meanwhile, Amin San and Susan Greenberg are also in a tight race with Nira Sol and Sirironbot for P19. Amin San and Susanna Greenberg are in Lola T260s, while Mirasol and Sirironbot are piloting a Shadow DM4. Tensions are high as these positions are fiercely contested throughout the field. Wayne 94 from Team Wangan Midnight Runners is now in 7 after successfully overtaking Cedric and Deplorable Eagle. Cedric and Deplorable Apple have responded by advancing to Pate, executing overtakes on Rizaldi Adha and Iamthakrabi. Meanwhile, the driver from Team Core Express has climbed to Palevin, having overtaken Grenadier. Gary No Name is now in P2 after successfully overtaking Issy 1212. Duff Dad and Alex Cosmonaut have advanced to Pfaua, also executing an overtake on Barbardo. In the midfield, Nirasol and Sir Ironbot have gained positions, moving up to 17 by overtaking both Kamikaze 38 and Volksen. The race is intensifying with these dynamic moves. Rizaldi Adha and Iamthakrabi had successfully made their move up to P3, decisively overtaking the man from Team Quark Express. In response, the man from Team Quark Express has countered by advancing to Pfaua, getting past Barbardo. Meanwhile, Koki Benenity and the Arafael are gaining on Gary No Name, reducing the gap by 2 seconds, indicating a possible challenge for the next position. Kamikaze 38 and Volkswagen are making significant progress as they reduce the gap to Waintra 94 by 16.7 seconds. Their pace is noticeably faster, indicating a potential challenge for the third-place car. The dynamics in the race are shifting as both drivers appear to be coordinating their efforts to overtake Waintra 94. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is maintaining their positions with no major changes reported at this moment. The tension is building as Kamikaze 38 and Volkswagen continue to close in. Hey MBT 2129. Hopper, welcome back to the stream. Buckle up, because we're about to witness some AI cars tearing up the track. Let's rev those engines. Racing car, dashing away. Tenko 9704 and Snow TPP have significantly closed the gap on Amundsen and Susan Greenberg, now just 38.8 seconds behind them. In the fight for Pate, Gary No Name, Huggard 3, and Maya are engaged in a tight battle, trading positions. Meanwhile, Saigoto 22 and Nukam Buckham have both made impressive moves up to P12, successfully overtaking Mirasol and Siriram Butt. The dynamics are shifting rapidly as the race progresses. Grenadier has made a significant move up the field, now occupying 10 after successfully overtaking 5 cars in quick succession. The latest overtakes included both Huggard 3 and Maya Detal. However, Huggard 3 and Maya are not far behind, closing the gap to Grenadier by 2.2 seconds, indicating that this battle for position is still very much alive. The dynamics in this section of the race are intensifying. Rizaldi Adha and the Amphikrabi have made a significant move, now holding P2, after successfully overtaking Wiltsa Finon. Meanwhile, Sigdrek and Deplorable are showing strong performance, advancing to P12 by passing Kokibaninity and A. Erafel. In another battle further back, Kamikaze 38 and Volkswagen have climbed to P18, overtaking Amundsen and Susan Greenberg. The race is tightening up with these strategic maneuvers. Tenkaman in 7 Hor and Snow TPP are making a significant move as they close the gap to Angulahavok by 34.9 seconds. This strong pace could set them up for potential overtakes if they maintain this momentum. The race dynamics are shifting as they continue to gain ground. Tiger 3 and Maya have successfully advanced to Pen after a clean overtake on Greninjib. This move demonstrates their strategic timing and precise driving as they navigate through the competitive field. The top 10 is becoming increasingly tight as positions shift. The man has successfully moved up to P3 after overtaking Wiltsofino Mathasi. The battle for third place is intensifying between them. The man, in the Porsche 917/30 Spider, demonstrates impressive speed and handling as he navigates the track. Meanwhile, Wiltsofino, piloting the Shadow DN4, is not backing down easily and is closely maintaining pressure on the man's rear. The dynamics of this race are shifting rapidly as both drivers strive for that coveted podium position. Zygo 22 currently holds the 16th position, closely pursued by Nukembuken in their BRM Pone 154 Chevrolet. Neerasol and Sir Ironbot in the Shadow DN4 are right on their tail, creating a tight pack in this battle for 16th place. Zygo 22 attempts to defend their position as Nukembuken looks for an opportunity to overtake. Neerasol and Sir Ironbot are not far behind, ready to capitalize on any mistakes from the front too. As they approach the next corner, Zygo 22 maintains their line, while Nukembuken is trying to find a gap. The tension is building as they head down the straight. Zygo 22 and Nukembuken are currently fighting hard for position 16 in their BRM Pone 154 Chevrolet. They have been maintaining a tight formation with very little room between them. Neerasol and Sir Ironbot in the Shadow DN4 are closely trailing behind, looking to capitalize on any mistake. As they approach the hairpin turn, Zygo 22 makes a defensive move, while Nukembuken looks for an opportunity on the inside line. Neerasol attempts to close the gap, trying to prepare for a potential overtake. Sir Ironbot is also lurking just behind, waiting for a chance to pounce if the battle escalates. The intensity remains high as they round the corner, and it appears that Zygo 22 has managed to hold off Nukembuken for now. But Neerasol is getting closer. Sir Ironbot is still within striking distance, making this battle for 16 highly competitive. Bobardo is currently gaining on Wiltsofino, reducing the gap to 2.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Temka Main 7-4 and Snow TPE are also making strides, closing in on Angilahavok by 3.3 seconds. The competition is tightening as these drivers push for position. Wiltsofino and Bobardo from Team Blast are currently in a tight battle for power, with both cars exchanging positions frequently. Duff Dad and Alex Cosmonaut have successfully overtaken Gary No Name, moving up to P8. Meanwhile, Kamikaze 38 and Volksen have advanced to 17, after overtaking Amundsen and Suzanne Greenberg. The race is intensifying as drivers vie for better positions. Bobardo from Team Blast has successfully moved up to Pfau after overtaking Wiltse Finoma. Meanwhile, Wayne Tre 94 is making strides, advancing to 13 by overtaking both Koki Benanati and I Rafael. There's now a tight battle for 13 with Wayne Tre 94, Koki Benanati, and I Rafael closely contesting each other's positions. Tankerman in 7-4 and Snow TBR are making significant progress as they close the gap to Angelahovo by 2.1 seconds. The tension is building as they approach the next corner, increasing the possibility of an overtaking maneuver. Angelahovo will need to defend their position carefully to maintain their lead. Neo-Texum has encountered issues, dropping back 6 positions to take 7. Bobardo has made a significant move, now in pole after overtaking Wiltse Finona. Wiltse Finona has responded by moving up to P2, overtaking Issy 1212. The race dynamics are shifting rapidly as positions change frequently. Huggett 3 and Maya have significantly reduced the gap to the leader, now just 35.2 seconds behind. Duff Dad and Alex Cosmonaut have successfully moved into 5 after overtaking Neo-Texum. Meanwhile, Neo-Texum is now engaged in a tight battle for 6 with Gary No Name. Neo-Texum is piloting the Porsche 917/30 Spider, while Gary No Name is in the Shadow DN4, making for an interesting dynamic as they vie for position. Gary No Name is currently engaged in a tight battle for 6 with Neo-Texum. Gary is piloting the Shadow DN4, while Neo-Texum is behind the wheel of a Porsche 917/30 Spider. Both drivers are pushing hard, with Gary attempting to defend his position as Neo-Texum looks for an opportunity to overtake. As they approach the final corner, Neo-Texum pulls alongside Gary on the inside line. This maneuver could determine the outcome of this fierce contest for 6th place. Koki Benenedi, Rafael, Nir Sol, and Sir Ironbot are engaged in a tight battle for 15th position. Koki Benenedi is currently leading this quartet, closely followed by Rafael, who is attempting to find an opening on the inside. Nir Sol is not far behind, looking for a chance to capitalize on any mistakes made by the drivers ahead. Sir Ironbot is holding steady at the rear, keeping pace but unable to make a move just yet. The tension is palpable as they navigate through the corners, each car vying for that crucial position. Tenkamen 700 and Snow TPE are actively closing in on Angular Havoc, reducing the gap to 3.4 seconds. In the meantime, Angular Havoc maintains a steady pace, but will need to defend against the increasing pressure from behind. The dynamics in the midfield are heating up as well, with cars jockeying for position, but no significant overtakes have occurred in the last lap. Tension is building as the race progresses. Gary No Name in the Shadow DN4 is closely tailing Neo Texum in the Porsche 917/30 Spider. As they approach the final turn, Gary makes a move on the inside, gaining significant ground. Neo Texum defends well, holding the racing line. As they exit the turn, Gary manages to pull ahead, taking 6 momentarily. Neo Texum fights back on the straight, utilizing the Porsche's power to retake the position. They are neck and neck as they head towards the next corner, with no clear advantage for either driver. The battle for 6 continues to intensify. ISI 1212 has successfully moved into P2, executing a clean overtake on Wilt Safinu Mabdet Owen. The two are now engaged in a fierce battle for that second position. Meanwhile, Tenkamen 704 and Snow TPP are making progress, reducing the gap to Angular Havoc by 2.8 seconds as they strategize their next moves. Gary No Name has just executed a clean overtake on Neo Texum, moving up into P5. The Shadow DN4 is showing impressive speed on the straights, while the Porsche 917/30 Spider is maneuvering tightly in the corners. Neo Texum is closing in again, attempting to retake that position as they approach the next bend. The gap is minimal as they enter the turn, and it looks like Neo Texum is looking for an inside line. Now, it's neck and neck down the straight. Neo Texum is utilizing the slipstream from Gary's car, gaining valuable speed. Both cars are side by side heading into the next corner. This is an intense battle for 5th place. Gary maintains his position as they exit the turn, but it's not over yet. Neo-Texum is not giving up easily and continues to pressure from behind. The dynamics of this race are shifting quickly with both drivers displaying high skill levels. Issy 1212 and Wiltsu Phenom continue their intense battle for P2, with both cars trading positions through the tight corners. Meanwhile, Gary No Name has successfully overtaken Duff Dad and Alex Cosmonaut, moving up to power. Now, we have Gary No Name, Duff Dad, and Alex Cosmonaut locked in a fierce contest for power, creating a three-car tussle as they jockey for position. The dynamics are shifting rapidly among these drivers. Cydric and Deplorable are making significant progress, not just 14 seconds behind Greninja. Wiltsufinona has taken the lead, overtaking Bobardo to secure pole. Meanwhile, Gary No Name is narrowing the gap on Issy 1212, closing in by 230 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as positions continue to change. Color 3 and Maya have successfully moved into Pate after overtaking Gary No Name. Meanwhile, Tenka Moon and 704 and Snow TPE are making significant progress, reducing the gap to Angular Havoc by 3 seconds. Nearasol and Siririmbot had successfully closed the gap on Duff Dad and Alex Cosmonaut by 2.6 seconds, indicating a strong push for the lead positions. Meanwhile, Kokibaninity and Airfa have advanced to P13 after overtaking Greninja, who has now slipped to 14. In a countermove, Greninja has regained some momentum and overtaken Wayne94, moving back up to 14. The dynamics are shifting as positions continue to change throughout the field. Angular Havoc has successfully moved up to 17, executing a clean overtake on both Kamikaze CT8 and Volksen. This maneuver demonstrates Angular Havoc's strong racing strategy and precise handling through the challenging turns. Position changes continue to shuffle the field as the race progresses. Electric Marie and Amy are rapidly closing in on Amundsen and Suzanne Greenberg, reducing the gap to 34.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Tankaminen 704's Snow TPE have made significant progress, moving up to P18 after successfully overtaking both Kamikaze 38 and Volksen. The race continues to intensify as positions shift. Currently, Gary No Name has advanced to P8 after successfully overtaking Hugo 3 and Maya. Meanwhile, Tenkamen 704 and Snow TPE are closing in on Angi Lahavok, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. The race dynamics are intensifying as positions shift and contenders strategize for advantageous placements. Kokibinity and ARFL have gained positions, now holding P11 after successfully overtaking Grenijeb from Team Awesome No Name Racing, who has dropped to P12. In response, Grenijeb has made a move on Nyarasol and Sirairanbot, reclaiming some ground. Meanwhile, Electric Marie and Amy are reducing the gap to Amundsen and Susan Greenberg by 4.1 seconds, indicating a potential battle for position soon. Cedric and Deplorable have successfully moved up to P13, executing a clean overtake on Nyarasol and Sirairanbot. Meanwhile, Nyarasol and Sirairanbot are engaged in a close battle with Wayne 94 for P14, with positions fluctuating as they jockey for advantage. In a different part of the track, Tenkamen 704 and Snow TPP are gaining ground on Angularvok, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds, indicating an impending challenge for position. The race dynamics continue to shift as these competitors push their limits. Electric Marie and Amy are making significant progress, reducing the gap to Amundsen and Susan Greenberg by 5.7 seconds. In the battle for P2, Neotexum and the Man are closely vying for position, with tensions high. Hugo 3 and Maya are also gaining ground on Gary No Name, decreasing their deficit by 2.7 seconds. The race dynamics are intensifying as these team efforts unfold. Hugo 3 and Maya are making significant progress, reducing the gap to Gary No Name by 3.7 seconds. Hugo 3 is currently in P2, while Maya trails closely behind in P3. The dynamics among the top three are intensifying as they approach the next corner. Gary No Name needs to watch his rearview mirrors closely. Bobardo in the Shadow DN4 is closely tailing the Man in the Porsche 917/30 Spider as they battle for P3. Both cars are demonstrating their speed and handling, with Bobardo looking for an opportunity to overtake. Wayne 94 has made a notable move, advancing to P12 after successfully overtaking both Cedric and Deplorable. This shift places Waintra 94 in a stronger position as the race progresses. Sidewreck and Deplorable have responded by moving up to P13, having overtaken Nearasol and Sirironbot Door. This dynamic suggests increased competition among the mid-pack racers as they jostle for position. Bobardo is now in pole after successfully overtaking Rizaldi Adha and Yumthikrabi. The man has made a strong move into P3, getting past Neotexum from Team Gum Kings. Emingson and Suzanne Greenberg have climbed to P19, overtaking Electric Murray and my own position as well. Neotexum has just executed a clean overtake on the man, moving up to 6. Meanwhile, Duff Dad and Alex Cosmonaut are applying pressure, significantly reducing the gap to the man by 34.4 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as they continue to close in. Zadrek is currently in 13th position, closely pursued by Deplorable Apple, Nearasol, and Sirironbot. The four cars are tightly packed, with only a few tenths of a second separating them. Zadrek holds the inside line as they approach the next corner, while Deplorable attempts to dive on the outside. Nearasol is looking for an opportunity to capitalize on any mistakes made by the drivers ahead. Sirironbot remains right on the tail of the pack, ready to pounce if an opening appears. This battle for 13th is heating up as they navigate the track. Amingzon and Suzanne Greenberg in the Lola G260 are currently neck and neck with Electric Murray and Amy in the Porsche 917/30 Spider as they contest for P19. Amingzon makes a move on the inside at the hairpin, but Electric Murray defends well, maintaining position. They exit the corner closely together, and it looks like they're both jockeying for an advantageous line into the next straight. Overtaking opportunities are limited here, but the battle is definitely heating up as they approach the next turn. The current standings show Angular Havoc advancing to P20 after successfully overtaking both Electric Murray and Amy. The maneuver was executed smoothly, indicating a strong performance from Angular Havoc in the recent laps. Kamikaze 38 and Volkson have successfully moved up to 17, executing a clean overtake on Tamkaming in 704 and Snow TPA. The positioning is tightening as they push forward, looking to gain even more ground in the race. Tenka Mini 704 and Snow TPP currently hold positions 1 and 2, respectively, but Amundsen and Susan Greenberg are making significant progress, reducing the gap by 33.8 seconds. The dynamic between these four drivers is intensifying as Amundsen and Susan Greenberg gain on the leaders. It will be interesting to observe how this plays out in the next few laps, especially with the increasing pressure on Tenka Mini 74 and Snow TPP tire. Tenka Mini 704 and Snow TPE have successfully reduced the gap to Kamikaze 38 and Volkswagen by 2.2 seconds. Tenka Mini 74 is now in a strong position to challenge for an overtake, while Snow TPP seems to be strategizing behind. The dynamics are shifting as they approach the next corner. Let's see if they can make their move. Neerasol and Sia Ironbot have successfully moved up to P13 after overtaking Wayne Trey 94. The maneuver was executed smoothly, showcasing their strategic timing and acceleration capabilities. Meanwhile, Wayne Trey 94 now sits in 13, adjusting his racing strategy in response to the overtaking challenge. The race dynamics continue to evolve as positions shift among the mid-pack drivers. Tenka Mini 704 and Snow TPP are now just 2 seconds behind Kamikaze 38 and Volkswagen, showing impressive speed as they reel in the leaders. The gap is closing quickly, indicating a potential battle for position soon. Kamikaze 38 and Volkswagen will need to defend against the advancing duo if they want to maintain their lead. Tenka Mini 704 and Snow TPP have successfully moved up to 17, overtaking Kamikaze 38 and Volkswagen. The battle for 17 continues as Tenka Mini 704 and Snow TPP in their Porsche 917/30 Spider are currently defending their position against Kamikaze 38 and Volkswagen, who are driving the Lola T260. The competition is tight as both teams push their limits on the track. Cedric has just made a move on Deplorable Evil, pulling ahead slightly as they approach the hairpin turn. Neerasol is closely trailing behind, looking for an opportunity to capitalize on any mistakes. Sirarimbot remains in the mix, maintaining a tight line but struggling to find room to overtake. The four cars are within a second of each other, creating a tense battle for P12 Tormaniso. Cedric defends their position well as they exit the corner, while Deplorable tries to regain lost ground. Nearasol appears to be setting up for an inside move, and Sirarimbot is keeping pace, ready to strike if the opportunity arises. Hey, RF Society. Welcome back. Automobile dashing away, the race just got more exciting with you here. Grab some popcorn and let's see how these AI drivers zoom around the track. Party Popper's smiling face, with smiling eyes. Gary No Name is currently gaining on Duff Dad and Alex Cosmonaut, reducing the gap by 2 seconds. Duff Dad is holding firm in position, while Alex Cosmonaut seems to be maintaining a steady pace. The gap between Gary and the two leaders is now approximately 5 seconds. As they approach the next turn, it will be interesting to see if Gary can make a move or if Duff Dad and Alex can fend him off. Cedric, Deplorable, and Neurosol are closely bunched together, battling for the 12th position. Cedric is currently leading this mini-pack, but Deplorable is making a move on the inside. Neurosol is not far behind, ready to capitalize on any mistakes from the front too. They approach the tight corner. It's going to be crucial how they navigate this turn. Deplorable pushes ahead, making a clean overtake on Cedric. Cedric now drops to P13. While Neurosol attempts to follow through but has to back off to avoid contact. All three remain in close proximity as they exit the corner, with the fight for P12 intensifying. Neurosol and Sirarimbot have successfully moved up to P12 after overtaking Cedric and Deplorable. The maneuver was clean, demonstrating effective strategy timing. This positions them well as they continue to chase the pack ahead. The race dynamics are shifting as we approach the next corner. ISI 1212 is currently in P2, closely pursued by Wiltsafina1.10. Wiltsafina1, piloting the Shadow DN4, is locked in a fierce battle with Rizaldi Adha and Yamtha Krabi, who are both driving Porsche 917 30 Spiders for P3. The dynamics between these drivers are intense, as they jockey for position through the corners, with overtakes being attempted by all parties involved. The race continues to tighten up as they approach the next section of track. Fighting divanit. Pewnie kieruję. Insurance Lord Price, as they approach the next section of track. Electric Murray and Amy have successfully advanced to P20, executing a clean overtake on Angular Havoc. The maneuver appeared well-timed, taking advantage of a slight miscalculation in Angular Havoc's line through the previous corner. The pack ahead is beginning to spread out, with Electric Murray and Amy now looking to close the gap to the next cars in front.